Have you ever prayed but never got an answer, and wondered if God was really there? Did you feel all hope was gone, but in His time He came along and answered the prayer you thought was gone? There is no prayer too small, for God hears them all. The answer may not be just what you want, but He always knows what's right, even when we think it's wrong. Just remember, there is no prayer too small. Will ask, you shall receive. No matter what it is, I still believe. There is no prayer too small, and even when we fall, He gives us just exactly what we need. There is no prayer too small, for God hears them all. The answer may not be just what you want, but He always knows what's right, even when we think it's wrong. Just remember, there is no prayer too small. No prayer too small. He always knows what's right. God hears them all. There is no prayer too small. My God hears them all. The answer may not be just what you want, but He always knows what's right, even when we think it's wrong. Just remember, there is no prayer too small. No prayer too small. No prayer too small. God hears them all.
Hello, my name is Ralf Friedrichs. I'm an addiction recovery coach and the host of the Take Your Life Back Today show. As an addiction recovery coach, I want to share something with you, and let me be crystal clear to leave an everlasting impact upon you. Just imagine being buried alive. You're in a coffin, but you know you're not dead. You don't know how to get out of that coffin. You tried lifting the lid, but the enormous weight upon the lid prevents you from opening the lid. You then tried banging on the lid to hopefully unsettle the dirt that's upon the lid, so maybe somebody on top might notice and start digging their way down to helping. This is what it's like to find yourself at the lowest point of alcohol and drug addiction. You know you need help, you know you can't do it on your own, but you don't know where to turn. In reality, there are people standing by your grave. You just don't know that. You just think you're going to die. Usually, though, people don't think about death when they're habitually abusing drugs and alcohol. In order to defeat an addiction, you have to be great at repressing the fear of death. I often ask you, my audience, did it ever cross your mind while you were abusing drugs and alcohol that maybe, just maybe, you might take something that God had given you, called life, away from yourself? And if that's not selfish enough, more selfishly, you take your life away from the people that love and need you most. Your mother, your father, your husband, your wife, your brother, your sister, your children, and even your grandchildren. With this, let me leave one last thought. Don't be like the person that went to their grave not seeking help. Waited and waited, but it was too late. Instead, be that person that picks up the phone today and calls me at 844-405-HELP, and I promise you I will help you take your life back. For your life is gone. Folks, I need you to, when you take your slippers off at night, to start sticking your slippers way under the bed. Just put them way under the bed. That way in the morning, when God allows you to wake up and open your eyes to see streams and waterfalls like the ones behind me, when God allows you to wake up, you'll get on your knees to get those slippers that you the night before put under there, which I'm asking you to do 7 days a week. Put them under your bed at night and get on your knees in the morning and pick them up. While you're on your knees, I'm asking you, no, I'm begging you to utilize what I call knee-mail, K-N, double email. That is your communication between you and God. Each and every morning you should be thanking God for having a home, for having clothing, food, relationship, and even your health. That's the time you should be asking God for guidance and direction for your daily functions. It's the time you should be asking God for forgiveness and for mercy. Utilize email each and every morning, 7 days a week, throughout the year, and whatever you pray for, whatever you talk to God, whatever your personal relationship is with God in your personal conversations, your life will be enriched 150% better. Nothing will be done overnight. It takes dedication on your end to communicate, to use an email. Put those slippers under the bed at night, and in the morning get on your knees to retrieve those slippers and utilize that time to communicate between you and God. The power of prayer is stronger than any king or any president. Now put those slippers on, stand straight up, and walk with God 24/7. Let's talk about ways to help the poor. As we think about the poor, the abused, the helpless, what can our compassion accomplish for them? A lot. I will tell you a lot. It takes just a few minutes with the news to know the needs in the slums, the refugee camps, the AIDS, orphans. No individual can solve the world's needs, but perhaps we can do something together as a whole. Here are some ideas I want to share with you. The poor, help the poor. One great way to help is through micro loans. One recipient was Paul Mungai, who runs a cobbler shop in Kenya. Ironically, Paul cannot walk without crutches, yet he knows how to make and fix shoes. And he knows how to run a business. He started with just $50 of seed money and now has, by Kevin's standards, a sound business. He's feeding his family. He's paying his rent. His kids have uniforms to wear to school, and everyone in his care has enough to live on. There's a gleam in his eyes because Paul knows that there is only one path out of poverty. Entrepreneurship and business success. Many are willing to learn a skill and be self-sufficient. They just need a small boost to get started, which microloans provide. Microloans allow people to begin vegetable gardens, farming, or purchasing sewing machines to start clothing business. Another approach might be for you to actually go to a third world country, maybe for a short time, maybe longer. See if you can help a grassroots, local level. If you can't go, maybe you can help those who do go. There are organizations that can match up a person's knowledge or skills with places that need it. People can help with medical care, construction, electricity, digging wells, business practices, assisting AIDS orphans, or perhaps through on-the-ground education and or mentoring. to mentor and help the poor. Help the poor. They knew about the help that's coming their way, and they are eager to learn. There are Africans who can solve many of their own nutritional problems with plants and herbs already growing there. Literally, nutritionists can show them that the moringa tree grows in their backyards, have 7 times more vitamin C than oranges do, 4 times more than vitamin A and carrots, 4 times more calcium than milk, 3 times more potassium than bananas, and almost as much protein as eggs. There are numerous ways that we can make a difference and help each other in the world. Our compassion can be profound. What we do can be profoundly important to others. We can help pave the road and leads from poverty to success each and every day. We can help create the ingenuity and jobs and wealth that makes good medical care possible. We can create a world that has enough to eat, the world where even welfare kids and housing projects get their square meals each and every day. It requires courage on your part, courage on my part. I made a commitment that, well, let me rephrase that. When my wife and I got married, we made a commitment. If we could find the finances, each and every year, at least one of us would take a trip to a world country and help them. Now, that commitment was, well, how should I say, it was made in the offbeat. But my commitment never left my mind. I made a commitment back in 2013 that it's to help others. And through my videos, I know I spread word and news to help others. We've been able to help other people in many different ways other than what I had planned in my mind to take a trip somewhere. For about, 3 years now, I have been able to come into your living room, into your kitchen with each and every topic available to me, becomes available to you. I talk about the poor. I talk about the depressed. I talk about the low self-esteem. That is my contribution to helping others. When I feel that I'm getting a new topic in my mind, I get it printed up and put it on that teleprompter each and every time. You usually don't fear about doing different things, doing new things, when it comes as a passion from your heart to help others. One time I met a family in Mastic Beach that was so poor. Their home was in concrete and brick structure, and they had cracked ceilings. In that space was a bathroom with a toilet and a shower, a kitchen and 2 bedrooms. Here is the punchline. There were 15 people living in there. 2 bedrooms, 15 people. It used to be tight, they said, but we made the best out of this situation. And with the help of others coming in, they took the 2 bedrooms and made 4 by dividing. They took out 2 closets and made 2 more bedrooms. The closets were big, but they made them bigger. There were holes in the walls. They patched them through the grace of other people helping. There was no glass in the windows, and now there is. And it was simply a stark, cold dwelling. Now there are plants growing outside this home. This is what I'm talking about. To help each other is to help each other. It's to help one another. When you go to the place and see a house like that, and you are looking at yourself and saying, God, I have so much. Why do you not share? Why do you not help? My agenda, my little agenda in life, can make a difference to a lot of people, and that's by spreading the news of whatever I talk about today. It's about helping other people. Why can't people just spend days with their children, or maybe their parents who are old and dying? Why don't you start changing the world with whatever contributions you can maybe give? It doesn't have to be coming out of your pocket. These hands can help. Build something, rake something, help somebody. This mind can help someone. Leftover food can be given to someone instead of thrown out. You get to see the world as God might see it by helping others. God can guide us into helping the poor if you allow him, if you utilize your lips to his ears each and every day. He tells us, share your food with the hungry and provide the poor wanderer with shelter. When you see the naked, clothe them, and not to turn away from your own flesh and blood. And if you spend yourself in behalf of the hungry and satisfy the needs of the oppressed, then your light will rise in the darkness, and your night will become like the noonday. The Lord will guide you each and every time, I promise you, always. You and I, are imperfect people, but God calls us to bring kindness into darkness, freedom to those who are enslaved by others, to care for the poor, the homeless, the diseased, and the desperate. Jesus said, whoever has my commandments and keeps them, he it is who loves me. And he who loves me will be loved by my Father, and I will love him and manifest myself into him. Ask God to begin a relationship with you and to lead you fully capable into the life of purpose that created you to experience the wonderful joy of helping someone. Some relief organizations you can check out, or intend to maybe go Google, have certain lists where they need help. Go and look them up. But to simply give you a start by expressing your God-given compassion to others, I'm going to give you a list. You can go compassion, just Google compassion.com, Global Aid Network, International Crisis Aid, International Justice Mission, Kiva, K-I-V-A, Samaritan's Purse, the Salvation Army. These are all organizations that need you. Doesn't have to come from your pocket, but it has to come from your heart. And if you can have something come from your heart, even you can help someone. You can do it right from your home, like I do with my videos and my internet. Let today be the new day for you. Let today be a day where you will start helping others, and I'll be waiting to hear from you. Give me a call, 844-405-HELP, and I promise you I'll help you take your life back.
but never got an answer, and wondered if God was really there. Did you feel all hope was gone, but in His time He came along and answered the prayer you thought was gone? There is no prayer too small, for God hears them all. The answer may not be just what you want, but He always knows what's right, even when we think it's wrong. Just remember, there is no prayer too small. I have ready for you, will ask you shall receive. No matter what it is, I still believe. There is no prayer too small, and even when we fall, He gives us just exactly what we need. There is no prayer too small, for God hears them all. The answer may not be just what you want, but He always knows what's right, even when we think it's wrong. Just remember, there is no prayer too small. No prayer too small. He always knows what's right. God hears them all. There is no prayer too small. My God hears them all. The answer may not be just what you want, but He always knows what's right, even when we think it's wrong. Just remember,